Good day, my name is Father John Murray, a Redemptorist priest now stationed at Our Lady of Perpetual Help Church in lovely Brooklyn, New York. I broke my neck in a fall on the Jersey Shore about a year and a half ago, and I'm in a wheelchair. Let me begin by reading from Luke chapter 1, the story of the Visitation. During those days, Mary set out and traveled to the hill country in haste to a town of Judah, where she entered the house of Zechariah and greeted Elizabeth. When Elizabeth heard Mary's greeting, the infant leapt within her womb, and Elizabeth, filled with the Holy Spirit, cried out in a loud voice, saying, "Most blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb. How does this happen to me, that the mother of my Lord should come to me? For at the moment the sound of your greeting reached my ears, the infant in my womb leapt for joy. Blessed are you who believe that what was spoken to you by the Lord would be fulfilled." The gospel that I just read is one of the most charming stories in the life of Mary, the story of the Visitation. We also call it the second mystery of the Rosary. Think of Mary walking through towns and villages along the sides of roads and banks of the river, skipping over the hills of Judea. Mary must have passed hundreds and hundreds of men and women along the way. Yet no one noticed anything special about Mary. I picture her running the last 100 yards to the home of Zechariah and Elizabeth, her husband, living in Jerusalem near the temple. Mary is bursting to tell her special secret to Elizabeth and to ask for her advice. After all, Mary is just 16, 17 years old and filled with joy and enthusiasm and energy. The hills are filled with the sound of music, rejoicing that the world at last will see the promised Messiah. The thrill and joy in Mary's heart at being chosen by God chases away any fear and anxiety from her heart. She reaches the garden gate and calls out to Elizabeth, "Shalom." Elizabeth looks at Mary. She at first didn't notice anything special, but the prophet, not yet named but soon to be named John the Baptist, who was to do great things for God, filled then and there with the Holy Spirit. Children's always kick in the womb, but as if to scold his mother Elizabeth for not noticing the Messiah, John the Baptist kicked within the womb with such force that Elizabeth let out a great cry. Elizabeth, 6 months pregnant, struggled up to greet her 16-year-old cousin. Elizabeth, much older, bows to kiss the hem of Mary's dress, saying, "Who am I that the mother of my Lord should come to me?" And then the words that later become part of the Hail Mary, "Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb." Mary is amazed that her secret is already known. Elizabeth explains that the moment that Mary's greeting sounded in her ears, the child in her womb leapt for joy. Even before his birth, John the Baptist heralds the presence of the Messiah. His first audience is his mother Elizabeth, and her cousin Mary, the mother of God. Mary then must have fully realized the full import of the angel Gabriel's greeting, "Rejoice." Mary suddenly burst out with joy. The embarrassments, they were all behind her. She now knew something of what the angel Gabriel meant, because the Christ child in her womb was recognized by John the Baptist in Elizabeth's womb. Now the conditions of her pregnancy take on new meaning. Not only that, but the human condition takes on new meaning. For the New Testament has finally begun. The new promise of salvation and redemption for all people has been given. The promised Messiah, a child still to be born has come. So Mary surely shouted out with joy, and her prayer of joy was the great Magnificat. My soul magnifies the Lord.